It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And here's the pick artist himself, Trayvon Diggs, who's really putting up incredible numbers all season. 11 interceptions so far. It's the Cowboys and the Bucs, and it's coming up next.
Just a gorgeous fallout drive to Texas. No weather to speak of. Sun out, roof open. Yes, yes, and yes. A great day for football at AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Today we hit Week 10, and we've got a good one in store between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Dallas Cowboys. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. CD, you look at the Cowboys in this matchup. The bottom line, there are not many defenses in the league that seem up to the task to slow down their ground game. But this might be one of them, and in everything that they have said and done this week, they feel confident that they're ready.
And I like how you set this whole thing up because it comes down to this to me. These first few carries, they're going to be exciting, they're going to be physical, they're going to be battles. Each side trying to establish control in this game.
Get strapped in. It's just about time to get the party started. And we are underway from AT&T Stadium. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. They'll be led out by the man from Old Dominion, the former Monarch, at quarterback Taylor Heineke.
I love this quote during the week. If I were a defensive back, I would have wanted to play against me last week as well. He's trying to eliminate those turnovers, those interceptions, and get back on the positive side of the ledger, throwing touchdown passes.
Yeah, had 4 of those picks, led to the loss. They show run with 3 tight ends here on first down. They'll start, and right away he lost the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And this is going to be brought back for a fumble return touchdown by the Cowboys. Even the great ones, some of the best, they're not immune to the fumble, and here it really hurts them.
If the ball gets away from any runner's body, that's when the defense pokes at it, swipes at it, swats at it, and finds a way to create a big play for themselves.
Brett Maher on for the extra point. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. Taking it about the 1. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. Leonard Fournette making his way back out there. He's probably a little angry at himself. It was his fumble, obviously, a moment ago that led to the scoop and score touchdown that has him down early.
And now we find out about the psychology aspect of being a coach. Because when you have a guy that's just happened, some people want to take him out of the game immediately. Others say, you know something? Let's feed him the ball again next series and see if he's going to be able to atone for it. Let's see what they decide to do.
The numbers for Evans in last week's ball game: 6 catches, 111 yards.
And I don't know about you, partner, but if anybody ranks me in the top 10 in anything, I'm really happy. And that's exactly where he is now, number 10 in the league in receiving yards.
Room here to run. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 52 yards rushing for him now in his first 2 carries of the ball game. Well, Leonard Fournette, not a guy to shy away from contact. He can lower the boom on you when he gets ahead of steam, and that was a heck of a run right there.
Yeah, and this could be a sign of what this defense is in for, because you know all week long the coaches were preaching to the defense, you've got to be able to wrap up against a back like him, or he can make you pay. Technique, technique, technique.
And you can see the distance traveled there after the initial contact on the next-gen stats. Heineke on first down. And this is caught by Evans. Well, this defense for the Cowboys, they played extremely well last week in the win over Atlanta.
And I don't know what the actual percentages are, and I don't know the analytics when you create 5 turnovers or takeaways in a game. But coaches always say, when you create a number that high, your chances of winning probably up over 98%. I haven't seen that number quantified, but I believe them.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Here's Heineke. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Diggs. And the Cowboys force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are, positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. As we get a peek at their dynamic signal caller hailing from Mississippi State, it's Dak Prescott.
If you ask coaches at any level to design their ideal leader of a team, I think they're going to check every box with this guy. He's got the poise to handle responsibility. He stays calm under any kind of pressure, and he brings out the best of his teammates each and every week.
They begin with a run by Barkley. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Now Charles dealing with a 3rd and long. They'll have to try to go back to the air again, and this time avoid the sack.
Certainly hard to try to establish momentum when all you're doing is going backwards, not protecting the passer, and he gets dumped on his backside.
They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Prescott. And this one is incomplete. Well, that's not the way you want to start. A first pass attempt and a first drop all in one.
Well, you've got plenty of time to make up for it, but obviously not the way you want to get things started. Got to shake that off and get going.
He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Just 34 yards on the punt there, no return. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. The Buccaneers in good field position here to start out 1st and 10 at their own 42. Trying to shake off the interception, he'll look to throw. And he finds Corey Davis. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. To throw again on 2nd down. Heineke flushed out right. Looking for Godwin, but it's intercepted. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
Second drive forthcoming here for the Dallas Cowboys. They'll start in excellent field position following the INT. It's Barkley on the counter. He'll get this up to about the 44. These are his numbers from last week's contest. A boatload of carries, 139 yards.
Yeah, he could very well be on his way to a rushing title, but guess what? His offensive line, they're meeting separately because they want that rushing title as much as he does, and they want to make sure they get him there.
Running again with Barkley on 2nd down. And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. Give him 10 there, good enough for a Cowboy first down. The Cowboys at 8-1 on the year, and they have certainly got it rolling as of late, winners of 6 in a row.
And I think this is where, as a head coach, you show your team some trust. Instead of just talking about winning, the very next game, you point out to them, we're on a nice run here, and if we keep doing this, We'll be playing at home in the postseason, and we know that could ride us all the way to the Super Bowl if we get that done.
Well, they had a gain of 10 last time, now a gain of 20 here.
Now, how about this throw right here? Had to throw it to the left sideline, and you know the timing's got to be correct on this one. Ball's got to be right where it needs to be, and it was. That's because he had great arm strength on that one, able to drive the football. Quarterbacks love it when they can show off their arms.
First down, Prescott. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. Jalen Tolbert, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to extend their lead. Early on, they have all facets of the game working in tandem.
Yeah, you give the defensive touchdown early, give you the first score, and then your offense piggybacks on top of that and gets their own. And any coach we've ever talked to, we've had that conversation with prior to the game, they always say, you know, if we can score on defense or special teams, that gives us like a 95% chance of winning the game. I don't know if that number's correct, but it certainly does tend to play out that way, doesn't it?
It does. Fielded just outside the goal line. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And, Charles, you look at these two teams, and these are those kind of litmus test games in the second half of the season that if you're a coach or a player, you can either really look forward to them or really dread them, depending on your point of view.
And if you're dreading them, you're not going to go very far in the playoffs. You need to look forward to these kind of games because here we've got 2 division leaders, both real contenders for the NFC title. And you're right, you love having easy games on your schedule, but you need some games like this to toughen you up a bit and ensure that you're ready for the shock of playoff football.
Heineke on 3rd and 2. Now the ball comes loose. And some space here. And they will finally run him down, but not until he brings this one all the way back down inside the 10-yard line. And so the last 3 drives, you've got 2 interceptions and a fumble. I think we know why they're losing right now.
Without question, and we've seen the evidence, just what you talked about there. If they take care of the football, number 1, maybe they're not having this deficit, and number 2, maybe they actually have the lead.
Dallas offense set for this next drive. And they start in the best of all positions. 1st and goal. Prescott now after the fumble recovery. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Partner, this is almost an unwinnable spot for a defense. They have to come right out for a 1st and goal trying to stop them. But let me hold on a second. Let me take that back real quick. They can win here.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Saquon Barkley, his 11th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Well, Brandon, if we go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator, he showed us his script. Didn't show us everything now. He said, here's the script for the game. I think everything's going according to plan in a big way. 3 drives, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's about as good as that is as good as you can do, I guess. So, well done.
Yeah, well done indeed. Tremendous execution.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fields it right around the goal line. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Now the Buccaneers offense gets ready to head back onto the field. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down. To throw is Heineke. Airing this one out for Evans. And got his man complete. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Mike Evans, 79 yards. And the Bucs are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. And that is how you retaliate after getting scored on one play. Big pass downfield, and you hit the end zone.
Almost feels like 2 boxers just throwing haymakers at each other, doesn't it? One connects with a big one, the other comes right back. Okay, I'll show you. And they attacked right back on the first play of the drive and hit them big.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. From the 6. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. And you see his numbers from a week ago. He was up over 100 yards then, and he's already hit pay dirt here once in this one.
We always talk about quarterbacks and receivers getting into rhythm, right? Really feeling good, finding each other downfield. I think running backs operate the same way. They can hit a good rhythm and a good stride, and he's carrying it over from last week.
A gain of 2 brings up second and 8.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Prescott escaping the pressure right. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Jordan Whitehead.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open?
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
A first down throw for Heineke. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. Picked off by Trayvon Diggs. And the Cowboys are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. Really nice pick there for the reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week. And a good story on that, he said he didn't even know he won the award. His buddy had to call him. He saw it on television and said, hey, congratulations. How about that?
And I'll bet you his buddy said, well, since you didn't know, I'll just go ahead and claim the award, right? And everything that goes along with it. But the reason he won the award the previous week and what we just saw there, instincts, understanding where the play is going and being able to make a play on the football.
Now they air it out to start the drive, and it's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one good for 37 yards. That's evidence of why you spend a high draft pick on a receiver, isn't it, Charles?
It certainly is. His ability to make plays like that, and we've seen flashes of it from him so far in his rookie season. But also, it opens things up for the rest of the offense because they have to bring their attention to him as well.
Up the middle with Barkley. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Saquon Barkley, his 2nd touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season, as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Boy, still in the first quarter, and look out. I mean, they are on pace for over 80 points in this game. I don't know that they'll get there, CD, but this has been impressive to watch so far.
That certainly would be history in the making, wouldn't it, partner? I'm glad we're here to actually watch and see if it actually happens, although, like you, I have my doubts, but they are firmly in control of this game.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. Isaiah Rodgers. And he'll bring it back all the way. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with. And they say, challenge him, kick it to him. The way he runs, as fast as he is, I wouldn't challenge him at all. I'd do everything possible to keep it away.
He is just a blur when he gets a full head of steam, and he got a full head of steam there. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And they're able to cut this deficit down to 12. From the 10. And able to get this out to the 25. So here are the Cowboys to take over. Their win streak at 6 coming in and counting as they've got the lead right now, beginning this drive 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. That's to about the 28. 2nd down coming up. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And Barkley did not get there. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth. On fourth down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. They begin with a run by Fournette. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here. 3rd and 5. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. Second quarter now, and it's Buccaneer football as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. Heineke now. He'll set up the screen to Fournette. And they'll bring him down 1 yard shy after a pickup of 4.
Yeah, on 3rd down, you know those pass rushers, they're in the starter's block. They're just waiting for the pistol to fire. You can almost hear the defensive coaches on the sideline pre-snap. Watch the screen, watch the screen. Really good job there of identifying it and making the play to force 4th down.
Fourth down, so Jake Camarda is out there. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. A special teams mistake there, no doubt. Just 26 yards officially on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. On 2nd and 11 now. Prescott. And that is incomplete.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up, because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
On 3rd down, Barkley. Oh, look at that. And he gets this only to the 41. Not near enough for the first. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down. On is the punter, Brian Anger, to kick this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And that one came close to hitting the big scoreboard up there as the fair catch is made inside the 20-yard line.
At their own 19-yard line.
On 1st and 10, Heineke. Getting the football to Davis on an out route. It'll go as a gain of 4, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6. At the 23-yard line.
On play action, Heineke. And this one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football. Nearly a 4th pick of the ball game. On 3rd down, Heineke. And a catch right side by Evans. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. Here's Jake Camarda now. And taken right at the 35. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And that will come the offense as they take over. The Dallas offense back out onto the field. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still, they've got the lead here, and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming. 79 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
That's good for our Cowboys.
They keep it with Barkley on 1st down. And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35. 14 yards, good for a Cowboy 1st down.
Now this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
On the draw, this is Barkley. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the 2nd quarter.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. They'll go to Barkley again. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
That's good for our Cowboys. 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line.
They'll try to throw now. Prescott. This will be caught at Samuel. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Deebo Samuel, 25 yards for the touchdown, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. Well executed there offensively. Defense looked a little confused, but he found his receiver, and that one good for 6 points.
And the payoff we just saw there tells us how many times they ran this play in practice over the past few weeks, because they executed that flawlessly right here on game day when the situation arose.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Bringing it out of his end zone, Isaiah Rodgers. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. The last series for him, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10. Now here's a pass on 1st down. It's knocked away and incomplete.
That's a nice job there, because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
On 2nd down, here's Fournette. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. Like, you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
Now Heineke. Eluding the pressure right. And he is going to get the 1st down as he covers up after a pretty good shot there. Got what they needed there. The drive continues with a 9-yard pickup. First down, Heineke. And he will go down. A Cowboy sack. Jabril Cox in there to get him. It's a loss of 5. So that time, Charles, quarterback helpless really in the pocket in the face of a pass rush like that. They were on him instantly.
Yeah, this time it's going to come from the middle linebacker, because watching the lineman, it seemed to me that they thought he was going to drop back into pass protection, but he surprised them and came on the blitz instead and had a pretty clear run to the quarterback.
And according to our friends with NeXT Stats, that sack occurred in a mere 2.1 seconds. Good luck trying to avoid that. That one covers 29 yards. 1st down. Looking to throw. Heineke. And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49. A loss of 4 that time on the sack, and it brings up 2nd.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting it.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Derwin James with a pick. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. So this defense doubling its pleasure there. Remember, they had the fumble return for a score earlier in the game, and now this time an interception return for another score. Marr now to add the extra point. Now, these have been no picnic for him so far. He's missed 2, but this one is good. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. The drive will start at the 25-yard line here as Rodgers will not return it. The Buccaneers offense ready to rock and roll again. Well, remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
And this is going to be a Bucs first down as he gets it up past the 35. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Heineke to throw it. And my goodness, another interception. Derwin James with a pick. And the Cowboys are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line. Well, there's 2 sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball-hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it. I think about it awfully hard. But also, you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player. You have to know the situation.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. On second down, Prescott again. And trying to get it to Samuel, but it's intercepted. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And in for the Buccaneers touchdown. Nick Boyle, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bucs are able to cut into that deficit. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And that'll make this a 19-point ball game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Taken at the 15, a short kick. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape, up past the 30. And now here come the Cowboys. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond. Not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Play fake. Here's Prescott. It's caught. Tolbert. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Brian Anger now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and Tampa Bay trots out there now.
Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated. Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
That's complete to White. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Throwing again on 2nd down. Heineke. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over it that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Here's Heineke. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
Jake Camarda sent on now to punt this away.
Fielded at the 33. And just a 30-yard punt that time. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10.
And the Cowboys going to go on offense one final time in this first half. And they do have terrific starting field position, but no timeouts to work with, so they'll need to operate quickly.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Final play of the half. Prescott. Open man is Samuel. Complete. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in a minute, but first, let's take a spin around the NFL and see what's going on here in week number 10. We'll get started up at Lincoln Financial Field in Philly, and those two are tied up as they play the second quarter. From there, we'll head to Cincinnati to check on the Bengals at home at Paul Brown Stadium. And they've got the lead in their matchup with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Jamar Chase, a touchdown reception. Lastly, let's get you to MetLife Stadium to see what's happening with the Giants at home in East Rutherford. And they trail the visiting Ravens in that one at halftime. 2 touchdown passes there for Lamar Jackson. Moving on, let's take a look at the next-gen stats in the first half for Tampa Bay. And they've had plenty of success throwing the football so far this afternoon, as they're on pace to throw for over 300 yards if their form holds. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, we check out their numbers on the ground, as they'll try to keep the momentum going into the second half. With both of these offenses having their way, it's not likely they'll need to be doing a whole lot at halftime, but the defenses are definitely in need of some adjusting. And for the call of the second half, let's go back out to Brandon and Charles.
Yeah, Coach, certainly no shortage of action in those first 2 quarters. Definitely got to work on my touchdown calls, so we'll see how much voice I have left for the second half here. Now, they nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. The Cowboy offense set to go to begin this third quarter. And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
Second down, here's Barkley again.
Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
Brings up 3rd and 1.
They'll run it again with Barkley. And he gets this one across midfield for the first down to the 46.
132 yards rushing for him here as he starts to close in now on 1,200 yards for the season.
Prescott off play action. He'll buy some time right. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
So that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
No gain on the play. It's 3rd and 10.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. Flush to his right. Oh, Prescott stripped, and it's picked up by the Buccaneers. The big man, get the oxygen tank ready. And he returns it to the end zone. A fumble recovery touchdown for the Bucs. This defense, Charles, they needed some type of a spot. Get them back in this game.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. On to punt now, Anger, as he boots this one away.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. The drive starts with a run by White. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
They run straight ahead here with White, and he'll get a couple up to the 29.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing, and I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll go up the middle with White. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
And they'll try to throw now. Heineke.
Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
They'll try to pick this up on the ground with White. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on 3rd down.
Running lanes run a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46.
Throwing. Heineke.
That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Corey Davis, 54 yards.
And the Bucs get a bit closer.
Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And they're able to cut this deficit down to 12. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Taking it about the 1. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over.
Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down.
152 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ballgame.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Here's Prescott. That's going to be caught by Samuel. He had a great move, but he'll still be stopped shy of midfield.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4 at their 48-yard line.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And he's able to get across midfield and down into Buccaneer territory. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
Again, it's Barkley. And he gets this one across midfield for the 1st down to the 46.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. Give him 10 yards on the keeper, and it'll lead to a 2nd down.
He's brought down at the 37-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and inches.
Barkley, inside handoff. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
A 1st down carry for Barkley. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7.
Off the play fake, Prescott. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes.
Joe Tryon-Shoyinka showcasing the pass rush.
And they visited the end zone frequently in this one, and obviously they wanted another one. But give credit to the defense there. They may not make the comeback, but pride showed. Good sack on that play.
They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long.
And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
Anger is on to punt, and he gets this one away. And a nice job here on special teams. This will be down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line.
Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows their punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
Heineke now looking to throw on 1st down.
Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Oh, why are we doing this?
So roughing the passer, and this is a unit, Charles. They hold their breath every time they see their quarterback go down and get hit like that.
Yeah, they understand how important these last couple of months are for this team. They can ill afford to have anything happen to him if they want to accomplish their goals.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. First down, Tampa Bay there, a gain of 13. Opting to run again here with White. And he's got room. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
A gain of 21 yards. And the Buccaneer first down.
And that's going to do it. Clock hits zeros. They're not going to get another playoff. Time has run out on this third quarter. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now in Arlington. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. It's Buccaneer football, but they've got work to do. They find themselves behind here to start the fourth quarter. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
To throw is Heineke.
That's into the hands of the tight end, Boyle. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 24-yard line. Now Heineke. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone. Throwing again on 2nd and 10.
Heineke.
To the sideline, and it's caught, but boy, he's out of bounds. And they try to get him into space coming out of the backfield, but it'll be third down.
Again, it's Heineke.
And now here is another interception. Picked off by the linebacker, Jalen Smith.
And the Cowboys are going to get it back here just shy of the 20.
What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw.
He's got the hook up downfield to Samuel.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. Give him 30 yards there.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
The big play has him all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. On play action, they'll throw. This will be caught. It's Samuel. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Back-to-back plays of right around 30 yards, and the field position has totally been flipped.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
A handoff to Barkley. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
2nd and 7 from the 20.
Up the middle with Barkley. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Saquon Barkley taking it in from the 20.
And the Cowboys add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week.
He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now, no question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. What a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, he's got him in the lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Fields it right around the goal line.
Now a hit and a loose football. And the Cowboys have recovered.
So problems compounding themselves here on the return. They just give up the touchdown, and now they lose the football.
Yeah, partner, things are starting to unravel a little bit for them right in front of our eyes. They're going to be looking for some answers, and quickly.
It's Barkley on the counter. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. Now flags fly in, and one of the Cowboys look like he got This O-line's been great. They've got the big lead, so give them a pass there, I guess.
Yeah, I would think so, because if we were grading them on their performance in this game, a lot of pluses in their boxes so far.
A jet sweep. Here's Tolbert.
And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. 8 yards on the run, and that cuts us down to a 3rd and about 5.
Here we go. Strike.
A give to Barkley out of the gun. And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. It goes as a gain of 8 and moves the chains. They'll try and run for it with Barkley. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
Alert! Alert! Trap alert! Trap alert!
Here's a give to Barkley. And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. This one goes out wide for Barkley.
Touchdown, Cowboys! Saquon Barkley from 3 yards out.
And the Cowboys appear to be headed to a 9-1 start as they extend their 4th quarter lead.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And that will bump the lead up to 26. That time a 6-play drive.
And it's capped off by a receiving touchdown from Saquon Barkley.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Taking it about the 1.
Now a hit and a loose football.
Recovered by the receiving team.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
He's trying to protect his quarterback's blind side. Got nabbed for the hold.
You have one job over there. Make sure that man does not get hit. So if you have to hold occasionally, do so, because they don't catch all of them. This time they did.
So the completion good for just 3. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Now Heineke. Flushed out right. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. Give him 9 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. He's got a man, complete. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Mike Evans, with career touchdown number 96, he joins Eric Dickerson on the all-time list.
And the Buccaneers' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points.
Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And that'll make this a 19-point ball game. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And they've got it. They recovered it. Wait, hang on now, though. There's a penalty flag down.
Well, CD, you understand. I mean, they're so eager trying to get back in this game here in the 4th quarter, but they touched that one a little too early before it went 10 yards.
Brandon, in such a high-stakes scenario, everyone's feeling the pressure on this play. The special teams coordinator, which one is he going to pick in terms of kicks? Can the kicker execute it? Can the team wait for 10 yards? So many variables, and in this case, they didn't get it done.
Running again with Barkley on 2nd down.
And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard, stop short of the 35. And this offense on 3rd down today, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This will be 3rd and 5. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. 3 yards on the keeper, and it's 4th down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports.
We're good.
They'll run for it with Barkley, and he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. They keep it with Barkley on 1st down. 5 yards on the carry, good pickup on 1st down.
2nd down at 5.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5.
They'll go to Barkley again. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4.
It's now 3rd and 4.
Dalton. He dumps it off to Barkley. And he's brought down short. 2 yards there, needed 4.
If this were baseball, we'd call this small ball. Instead of pushing it downfield, they throw a short pass trying to pick up the 1st down, but the defense rallies to the football and stops him short, bringing up a 4th down.
And his kick is indeed good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And that final kickoff concludes the ball game, partner. And one side, a really nice win in this one. They were good on offense and on defense.
And I'm guessing in the other locker room, partner, the head coach is just telling his team, hey, we didn't play well enough to keep it close enough. With that one possession down the stretch, might have given us an opportunity to win the game.
So for the Cowboys, the great run they've been on continues as they move to 9-1 now. And they'll have another home date next week as the New York Giants come to town. Meanwhile, for Tampa Bay, it's a bit of a setback as they drop to 6-4.